Hey everybody, what's going on? I want to show you something that I've had in my boat for a long time, and it's Lazyman Hooks. And really, the way that people normally teach you how to use the Lazyman Hooks, you put a fluke or something similar on it, and you slow roll it back. What I'm going to show you today is how to use it to your advantage as a search bait, getting that reaction strike. When you're out on flats, really good. When you're really shallow flats, you're trying to make a lot of casts, trying to figure out where the fish are holding, what areas the fish are holding in, and really trying to figure out or pinpoint, where the fish are in that grass cover. Another thing that it did for me is as soon as I started catching some buck bass, I was able to get around some beds and use it to my advantage to finding those beds. Unfortunately, the video I'm going to show you today, it's not going to have any large fish on it. They just haven't moved up to those beds yet. Still accomplished what I was looking for yesterday. I'm looking to figure out where the fish are going to be in about a month when the water temperature drops enough for them to start bedding down here in South Florida and specifically Lake Okeechobee. So one of the best ways to go about doing that is having some kind of search bait to search out where those fish are holding. And as I started catching fish, I'd get up around that area and there'd be 4 or 5 beds in a big open, deeper hole, if you will. Most of what I was fishing was 1.5 to 2 feet of water. Got really skinny at some points in time. We had to bust out the push pole and actually get out there. One of the things that this helps with is making that reaction strike presentation without having to spook all the fish that you're near. And those fish would get spooky, so I had to cast this pretty far away from the boat. And I was able to cover a lot of water in real fast time. So what I prefer to use while I'm doing this is I'll use one of these caffeine shads from Strike King. Use your favorite color. I was using this green pumpkin red yesterday, and really it's a simple setup, just like what anybody else would tell you. You put a fluke type bait on here. The reason why I choose caffeine shad over anything else is pretty much the shape of the tail, and it has a unique action that caffeine shads don't have. I've had a lot of, it's got a unique action that the Zoom super flukes just don't have. They don't have the ability to do that with a forked tail. The forked tail just kind of goes straight through the water, and that's about it. What this tail does, it does a very, very subtle wag. As you can see, it's got that bubble in the back, and when you burn it back, it does a very subtle wag. And I was treating this like it was a topwater. Burning it back as fast as I can. Today I'm rigging it up for my next trip out to the lake with an 8-to-1 gear ratio Revo STX on a Veracity medium heavy rod, 7'3", and I want to be able to make really, really long casts, get away from the boat, and be able to burn it back as quick as possible. Most of the strikes were reaction strikes. Come close to the fish and they just slap at it. As soon as they slap at it, you just kind of give it to them a little bit, and you'll see me do that once in the video, and just apply pressure. They'll take it and they'll go with it. It's a finesse measure of covering water, if you will. Not too loud, not too shaky. Not going to come through and spook the fish away. So hopefully you learned something from this. Watch the video, figure out how I'm throwing it, and use it for your own advantage. It will really help you out this spring as you're preparing for the spawn to go out and find those areas in the spawner flats that are holding fish. Boats are scaring the fish. Yeah.
Need a net? Need a net?
I don't know, he's running straight towards me.
Yeah, it's happening. Running up current.
Woohoo!
Fight it! with these big girls now.
Ah. Woohoo! Did you watch him come out of that snatch?
Yeah.
That was awesome. I love that kid.